We're going to talk about Gothic architecture today, but maybe not in the way you're thinking. This isn't just about pointy arches or spooky buildings. This is the story of how one man's really ambitious idea and one single project completely revolutionized architecture, and you could argue rebuilt the world with light.
So imagine it's nearly 900 years ago, and this is the big question architects and leaders are asking. They didn't just want to make bigger buildings, they wanted to create a physical space that could actually lift the human spirit, And the answer they came up with, in a single word, was light.
Okay, so our story kicks off at a really important place, the Abbey of Saint Denis, right outside of Paris. Now, this was not your average church. It was where French kings and queens were buried. But by the 1100s, the place was getting old. It was dark, cramped, and just way too small for the thousands of pilgrims who came to visit. It needed a serious upgrade.
To really get how radical this new plan was, you have to picture what came before. Churches were built in a style we now call Romanesque, and they were all about thick, heavy walls, almost like fortresses. That meant they could only have tiny little windows. They felt solid for sure, but they were also incredibly dark and gloomy inside. The new vision was the exact opposite. Thin, elegant walls, gigantic windows, and a feeling of soaring, almost weightless height.
The man behind all of this was Abbot Suger. He was the head of the abbey, and he also happened to be a close advisor to the kings of France. So he had the power and, let's be honest, the money to dream really, really big. Suger had this core belief that beauty was a pathway to God, and he had a totally revolutionary idea for how to rebuild Saint Denis.
At the very heart of his dream was this concept, lux nova. It's Latin for new light. Suger believed that bright, colorful light wasn't just there to help you see. To him, it was a physical representation of the divine. He wanted to completely banish the darkness and just flood the church with this heavenly glow.
And this quote pretty much says it all. For Suger, architecture wasn't just about stone and mortar. It was a spiritual tool. He genuinely believed that a beautiful, light-filled space could literally guide a person's mind away from everyday stuff and toward a higher, more spiritual understanding.
But, a vision is one thing. Actually building it is something else entirely. To replace massive, heavy stone walls with what were essentially walls of light, his builders needed a whole new set of engineering tools. And this is where the revolution really gets going.
The first key piece of tech was the pointed arch. It's the signature look of the Gothic style. Now, the old round arches pushed the roof's weight outwards, which meant you needed those thick, heavy walls to keep everything from collapsing. But a pointed arch is just brilliant. It takes all that incredible weight and funnels it almost straight down into the support columns.
The impact of this one simple change was enormous. Because the weight was now managed so much more efficiently, architects could suddenly build much, much higher. That signature feeling you get in a Gothic cathedral, that sense of everything soaring upwards towards the heavens, that's all thanks to the pointed arch.
The next big innovation was in the ceiling itself. It's called rib vaulting. Instead of using a solid, incredibly heavy stone roof, builders created a kind of stone skeleton. These ribs would form a strong frame, and then the spaces in between could be filled with much lighter material.
And here's why that was so crucial. A much lighter roof meant the walls didn't have to be so thick and heavy anymore. Their main job wasn't support anymore. And this freed up the walls to do something completely different, to be filled with glass.
So let's put it all together. The pointed arches and the rib vaults work as a team. They gather up all the weight of that high roof and channel it efficiently down through these new, slender columns straight to the ground. It's an incredibly smart system that lets you build a huge, strong building that somehow looks and feels almost weightless.
Okay, so the engineering problems were solved. Abbot Suger could finally get the church he dreamed of. So what did it actually feel like to walk into the newly rebuilt Abbey of Saint Denis for the first time?
Well, one of the first things you'd notice is the ambulatory. That's the walkway that goes around behind the main altar. Before, it was a series of separate little chapels with thick walls dividing them. Suger's architects just got rid of those walls and put up slim columns instead. And just like that, it wasn't a bunch of small dark rooms anymore. It was one single, continuous, open space that was just bathed in light.
And of course, there were the windows. Since the walls weren't needed for heavy lifting anymore, they could be opened up and filled with massive stained glass windows. These were incredible. They told stories from the Bible to people who, for the most part, couldn't read. And they turned regular sunlight into a magical, divine experience, famously using these deep blues and rich reds. This was Lux Nova made real.
900. That's roughly how many years have passed since this whole project started. It's a number that's kind of hard to wrap your head around, but the impact of what happened in this one place is definitely still with us today.
You see, Saint Denis wasn't just a renovation project. It was the spark that lit a fire. The innovations that were developed right here kicked off an architectural movement that would basically dominate Europe for centuries to come.
Architects and builders traveled from all over just to see Saint Denis, and these new ideas spread like wildfire. Just a couple of decades later, they started building Notre Dame in Paris. Soon after that, Chartres Cathedral was being rebuilt in this new style, and for the next 300 years, Gothic just became the way you built anything important.
And every single part of these buildings was absolutely packed with meaning. That incredible height was all about reaching for heaven. The light and the color, that symbolized the actual presence of God. And the complex, ordered geometry you see everywhere was meant to reflect the perfection of God's universe.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, the Gothic Revolution proved that buildings could be taller, brighter, and way more awe-inspiring than anyone had ever imagined. It fundamentally changed how people thought about engineering and design, and even today, modern engineers still marvel at the clever solutions these medieval builders came up with.
What's really amazing is that you can still go to the Abbey of Saint Denis today and see the very same spaces that Abbot Suger created. It's still standing, a powerful monument to the incredible creativity and ambition of that time.
And this leaves us with a final thought. We've seen how these medieval builders used new technology to chase an idea about light and feeling. So, what lessons from these 900-year-old designs can we still apply to what we build today? And what are the big ideas that we should be chasing?